So, how are M&Ms made? So, I'm going to explain this question as if we were in Charles Chocolate Factory, as I explained before. So, imagine that we have this huge waterfall of chocolate, right? And this waterfall of chocolate is falling into these huge machines. These machines, each and every one has its own objective. And well, once the chocolate is into the first machine, because I would like to explain it as I will be talking basically about a production chain. Okay, so on the first machine, its purpose is to freeze or to harden the chocolate in a way in which it's solid now. Why do we need solid? Because we need to cut it out into these small drops of chocolate. So that's the first step, to harden chocolate. Then the machine, it goes by with the tablets of chocolate, and then you have to cut it out into, small circles. So then you have this machine that cuts them out into small circles. Then on the third machine, you have to paint the M&Ms. You have to color them up. So there are a lot of colors of M&Ms. I mean, they now we will reach a point in which the product is going to divide itself into these different machines of color. So now that they're painted, the M&Ms, you have to print out the logo, and this is when things um, are going to be difficult because the following machines need to have the exact amount of pressure in order to not to break the M&Ms. So for this machine, I like to think that the M&Ms in this whole process, they are on the exact same position. The position is very important because this machine that has the work or has the objective to print out or to paste the logo of each and every one of the M&Ms, it needs to know the exact position of them, because basically the whole position dictates the whole process. Because if somehow an M&M moves, then the M&M moves the other ones around, and then the logos are not printed at the desired position. So that's how I picture like this whole process. So now that we have the the M&Ms are printed out, we have tons of color. We need to think about the presentation because M&Ms, for example, Valentine's is coming up. So I would like to think that we're going to place them into the heart-shaped boxes, or I don't know. So then they go into these different machines. One of them puts them in packages. One of them, it's kind of like small bottles. I don't know. And once they're packed up, now they're going to the end of the production chain, which is, these huge boxes or these huge, I don't know. I like to think there are boxes in which the candy is placed on, so they can close them up, and then sent to the trucks, or I don't know how the logistical plan works for the M&Ms, but I think that's probably the end of the M&Ms. Okay, for the next question, please answer two of the following questions. How do you organize the activities and divide them into your team? Well, when a project when a project comes to me, I've always like to have as much information as I can have. I mean, I have to be the person that knows everything about the project. And once that I have the profiles of the people that are going to work um, in my team for doing this project, I have to analyze each and every one of them, their skills, their experience, but most importantly, the things that they like to do and the things that they don't like. Because I like to put tasks, I like to delegate work that people are going to be willing to do, but also will like to do. So once that I have this whole information, I I kind of like have already my plan. I already have all of the tasks that need to be done in order to finish the whole project. So I get together with my team, and I'm like, well, this is how the plan looks like. I mean, these people are going to do these tasks, these other are going to do these tasks, and then we have a meeting in which we talk about the work we're about to do, in which people can give suggestions. I mean, in which they can say out loud if they like it, if they don't like it. But I've never had a situation in which I put people to do something they don't like or they simply don't want to do. So that's an advantage. So I use different tools to divide the tasks. Um, it could be Asana, it could be Trello. There are a lot of tools out there, but for not basic, but for the easiest and most fast thing to do, um, I simply assign things in Asana to each and every one of the people, and I like to use Kanban. So I have like it's not a like a table for all of the weeks, in which I know who is doing which tasks. I mean, the tasks that we are doing, the ones that are currently doing, and the tasks that are already done. So that's basically how I I have my organization, how I know um, which which one is doing which tasks. How do you organize your own activities based on what you do the distribution of times? Well, I'm the kind of person that is always doing some online course or reading, or I always have my goals each and every week. um, Given the work environment that I am right now, that I'm working in different projects on a daily basis, I need to have a lot of organization with my time, because I'm also at school right now. I'm actually at college. So if I don't have this organization, I won't do anything, and I will eventually fail college and fail school. So what I do is every Sunday at night, I kind of like put my goals into my own organizer. I don't usually use any kind of tool. I simply have my Google Calendar, and I have my Evernote app, in which I have the tasks that I did last week, and the tasks that I need to do this week. So first of all, I checked what I did last week, if I finished all of my goals or my tasks. If I didn't, then I need to prioritize a lot. Like if I didn't finish something last week, then that's probably going to be at the top of my priority uh, tasks organization. So once that I prioritize all of my tasks, I see the amount of time that I have, because there are times that are static, that don't change, which are school and work. Because I mean, those hours I know, and I like to give time for the things that I have to do. I don't like to do multiple things at the same time that are not related to what I'm doing. Because, for example, at work, I'm constantly multitasking, but it's for the projects that I'm currently working on. So I see the blank spaces that I have, and in those blank spaces, I put things like homework, online courses, exercise. I mean, the things that are not particularly important, I try to place them at last. But for me, I mean, when it comes to work and with myself, I like to give myself time. I like to take care of myself. So for me, that's equally as important as work. And those were two questions. So thank you very much.